Hello to you who are not watching this live. I'm just waiting for a few people to come in. There's nobody here yet. This could be a very quiet Sunday knife chat with Paddy. How are you all doing anyway? Oh, we've got two people there. We're starting. We've got a couple. A couple's a good place to start. Hello, let me know who you are and then I can say hello to you. We're just before 3 o'clock, so there we got three. How you doing? Happy Sunday. I hope you're all well. One's disappeared. Obviously didn't like that sentence. I'll have to watch myself. Good afternoon, Slick Slicers. How you doing? Young Eric there. Ohio EDC. Good morning to you, or good afternoon it is here. And good morning to you over there. How's the weather in Ohio? I don't know what sort of a state Ohio is now. Are you warm, cold, or windy? As you're coming in, let me know who you are and I can say hello. The CDC. Dean, how you doing? It's very nice to see you here. I'm going to put my other glasses on. I'm having trouble reading that. Oh, there's a hell of a difference. Absolutely buggered, Eric. What's wrong with you, mate? Have you been out and about a lot this last few days? Dean, you're very welcome. And Norman Johnson, how are you, sir? Very nice to see you. My little visitor at my caravan. Come down again anytime, Norman. It was lovely to see you. Late summer season here, rainy Sunday morning. Actually, it's been a lovely morning, but the clouds are coming in now. We're due a bit of rain this afternoon ourselves. The heat wave is gone, thank goodness. I'm not one for heat waves. Although my heat wave is anything over 20. Well, what have you been carrying? What have you got in your pockets right this minute? Don't make it up. What have you got in your pocket right this minute, knife-wise? Never mind the rest. What knife? Throw them up there and then I'll share what I've got in my pocket. Oh. Now, Slick Slicers, I'm expecting a big one. Good morning, Gus. How are you, mate? Really nice to see you here. Let me know what you've got in Northwoods Bear Lake. Matt, what a lovely carry. Fell over Saturday morning, landed in my face. Oh, good gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll give you a wee ring later on so I can see how you are. SoCal, how you doing? Morning, nice. Cool here. Spyderco Dragonfly. Again, that's one of the Spydercos I never had. And I have no reason, I'm going to clean my glasses here. I have no reason why I never had one. I actually would love one, but it just never seemed to get around. I have no questions, just want to watch. Gizmo, that's the best way to do it. A Shing and Desert Ironwood from Slick Slicers. A Queen Warncliffe. Lovely. Is that one of the new queens made by, I guess it would be, yes. The Victoria Huntsman. Lovely carry. Let me see what else we got. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody say a big offer. Slicky went over on his face, which I know he says it wasn't pretty, but it wasn't that bad. But I hope your recovery's quick, mate. That's not a nice thing to do. Not a nice. Right now I can see it. Right, keep putting what you've got in your pocket. I don't want just a knife you've got in your pocket. Your main carry. Let me know what you've got. And I'll get mine out now and I'll show you what I'm carrying. I am carrying this little beauty. You know, I got the two knives last week. Small Sapenza 31 micarta inlay. I haven't felt a small Sapenza with a micarta inlay. I think I've had a bigger one now. I think maybe Eric had sent me one. I can't remember now. I think you're right. Speed of recovery. Sure is. So I've been carrying this little beautiful. This is the Pena Apache. And I'll have to say, what a beautiful knife. Had to give away an expensive knife to get it, but I'm really glad that I did because it was genuinely a lovely knife. Really nice carry, I have to say. Made by Riot. It's my first Riot made knife, and I have to say, their attention to detail, especially in the handle, very, very smooth and rounded. Hello there, Thrifty. What about you? Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here, sir. Yes, Gus, the Apache, I have to say, really, really nice. It's going to be lovely. I'm going to hopefully this week sometime, I'm going to do a review, but with it up against one of my Jack Wolf knives as a comparison. And because they, I think it'll be a great battle to see which one comes out on top. I probably won't have an out on top one. What's your next knife on the radar? Matt, my next knife is a budget knife. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's a little button lock. It's a wee tiny one. Heine Haynes has it. I can't remember the name of it. I think I'm going to get it. I don't have a button lock in my collection anymore, so I'm going to get it because the money I got last week has gone into it. I've already spent £50 of the money I got last week, that's about what I got. And I bought Ashley Harrison custom knife for £50 off Instagram. When he put 2 up for sale, I managed to get one of them, as well as a shooting of a Rockstead Higo, a Shetland Morgan toothpick order to give me. Oh yes, I've been thinking of Warthog an awful lot. He's obviously in a real bad space at the minute as far as his illness goes. It's very sad, but he's a fighter. He's a fighter. And there's another one. If you got any prayers out there, Warthog really deserves a nice little prayer. He's having a rough time at the minute. A rough time. Good afternoon, Roland. Anybody else hasn't put it up? Put up what you got in your pocket. Put up your main carry so I can see what it is, just to show you. Mine is this little Pena, which is a beauty. I was carrying the one I got with the when I had my Mad Sunday where I got a fortune. I've been carrying that and took it apart and all the other day. This is just a super knife. The review's coming soon. I've got everything I need for the review in my head. I just have to decide when I'm going to do it. That's the Cherbakov, which is just a gorgeous piece of cutlery. So yeah, the next few knives I got are going to be in that budget range. The £50 about as high as I'm going to go. And I want to get a couple of other little budget knives. I want to try to get at least one Rough Rider with the no R in the bolster. As I say, I've got the Ashley Harrison custom. We're doing the interview with Ashley Harrison this week for the podcast. We'll be doing that Monday night. So it'll, give it 4 days or something so that we can get the tape, get the video all sorted out, and then we'll put that video up. I think that's going to be so interesting to get to speak and ask questions to Ashley Harrison, who is a custom knife maker here in the UK. So if you've got any questions, he makes traditional knives from scratch. If you've got any questions you would like to ask Ashley as a custom maker, and his family, him and his father, also own Arthur Wright and Sons, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's one of the oldest cutlers, or one of the old cutlers from Sheffield. So yes, if you've got any questions, put them down below in the description here, or not in the description, in the comments, and I'll sort them out. I'm carrying a Duke. Lovely. My mate just got a Duke this week. Mini champ for the win. Oh yes. Trevor opens stuff. Afternoon, Trevor. You're very welcome. Nice to see you here. And there's another thing. If you actually have, I'm going to get a pen and paper. If you actually have a YouTube channel that I'm not subscribed to, would you please throw your name up there, and I'll get subscribed to you and get a chance to look at your channel this week. I really don't want to miss out people who are subscribed to me and I'm not subscribed to them. So if you've got a channel and you want to shout out, stick it up here. Lee White rang me on Wednesday. Lee White's another person I would really like to interview. And Thrifty, I've seen you've got the penguin, one of my little favourites. I got my little penguin here. Super little knives. Yeah, Lee White, I would definitely like the interview as well. He's an awful busy man, I'm sure. That will be grand with Ashley Harrison. Looking forward to it. Yeah, really will. I have a classic SD in the pocket today. Well, funny, yesterday I was carrying this all day, and I used this, and I didn't use any of my other knives. The wee Executive, this is the Victorinox Executive, a super carry for about the house. I enjoyed that one yesterday with my main carry. No YouTube channel, just Instagram. I think I'm subbed to you on Instagram. Ohio EDC. I'm sure I am. But Ohio Insta. Hi, EDC. I'm sure I'm sub to you. DP Nice Sharpener, how you doing? Paddy, will you give a shout out to wee Julie, sick on the sofa today? She loves wee Paddy. Well, Julie, I love you, and I'm sending you a great big Irish hug with a hairy monster on the end of it. I hope you get better soon, my dear, and make sure he looks after you. Do you see if he doesn't? You send me a wee text and I'll sort him out for you. New case Stockman and Brown Maple Burl and Executive Scissors are spectacular. They really are. They're great. Just a super little all-round knife for sticking in your pocket. And a sort of great little knife you can get a young teenager into. I'm a very budget today. Whitby Mint. Yeah, they're just absolutely fast. I had the wee Whitby Mint. Fantastic little knife. Yep, yourself. Yeah, I thought I had. Yeah. I can take that off then. So yeah, anybody got a YouTube channel or Instagram that I'm not sub to, give me a shout. To wee Julie, I hope she gets better. So that's Julie, Slick Slicers, and Warthog today. There's 3 people we're giving a big hug to. Took me mum out for her birthday yesterday. Had my Rough Rider medium toothpick in tow. Very nice. Very nice. A toothpick. I had to trade off one of my GEC toothpick, the lovely green bone one. I had to do it as part of a trade for one of them knives there that I got. This day. Was it that one? Yeah. No, it was another. I traded it off. A toothpick is a pattern I struggle with. Sometimes I love the GEC one, but I struggle to carry them. I don't know why. PM2 and S30V, which is everything you'll ever need in a PM2. Yeah, it's funny. I called this last week. I have to say, I called it M390 last week, and it's not. It is K390. I just forgot. Again, I'm not a blade steel person. I got it for the knife. The blade steel was immaterial. What it would have been S30V or K390, but it's going to be Heidi Byron. You're very welcome. I haven't even. I wouldn't begin to dull it in the time that I'm going to do the review, but I'll cut with it and all. It takes a really wicked edge. I can tell you that. That number 12 is still my favorite. Yeah, you and me both had the same one. It was a beautiful knife. There was no doubt about it. It's just a toothpick isn't a pattern that I was really in love with. So I mean, my GECs now, they're way cut down. I've half the amount I used to have, but I've got other brands now, which is nice. Yeah. Have I got a toothpick? I've got a mini toothpick. I've got a couple of mini toothpicks. No, I've got one mini toothpick, which is the case mini toothpick, the wee small case mini toothpick. And I just keep that there just for the pattern more than anything else. I haven't carried it even. Switching up to a Benchmade 485 Valet. Beautiful knife. I love the little Valet. Just that tiniest wee bit small for my hands. Breakfast with the big fella. Hard to go wrong. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I had my breakfast. I didn't go to bed last night. I went to bed for about 2.5 hours there this morning. I was sitting up watching the... well, I wasn't watching the fight. I was listening to the fight, the boxing, and then I was also watching the... what do you call that? Oh, MMA. I was watching it. Got a butter knife as a spreading sausage gravy over biscuits and cutting some sausage links. Well done. Whittling. No, I haven't got round to whittling. I've been really busy. My attention, I don't know whether you've been... If you haven't, please go over and watch our podcast. It was the first main one last week, and we had Ben Belkin on it from Jack Wolf Knives. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Please go back and watch it. It was only a couple of videos away if you haven't. And I've been really diverting an awful lot of my attention to this. We've got Ashley Harrison we're doing on Monday night. And we're trying to get a lot of custom makers, knife designers, anything along that line, and just having a little chat with them. It's not a high-spec chat. It's just there's 3 of us and one of them, and we just have a little chat about most things that are there. Tobias got me in the tooth. Yeah. Any love for the peanut blade? Yes, I have definitely. You have love for the peanut blade. Where's my case? Oh, they're way down the bottom here. Let me see. I have the most beautiful little peanut. I think it's one of my nicest little knives. Good morning, ProBlast. Lovely to see you. I have this little beautiful, and the color on the bone on this is just gorgeous. Really lovely little knife. And I often throw that in my pocket. I just like it, especially if I've got tracksuit bottoms or anything on. Good morning. Oh, said good morning. Hi, Byron. Oh, you're all saying hello to each other. You're very social. You're very social. Has anybody got a knife coming in that they're excited about? Yeah, American made. It's a beautiful color. Your videos inspire me to get case knives. You know, I started with very few, and I must have about a dozen now of case knives. What's a GEC sized peanut? It would be a number 6, probably. I don't have a number 6. I used to have one, but here's a peanut, and this is a number 94, which is just one of the new ones out. So there's the size difference. There's a 94 and a peanut. So they're very similar in size. There's not that much difference. This is just a single blade, so it's actually a more substantial blade. You can get away with this as a great second knife. If I show you the size of the blade on the peanut, and although there's not much difference in the knives, there's a hell of a difference in the blades themselves. There's the handles coming down there. Oh, can you see it? It's a, it's a 1/4 of an inch difference, but it's 1/4 of an inch top and bottom once you get the blade out, which is perfect because I can carry this for an EDC. I never need much at all. The smaller one, here's another one that is probably similar in size, but this is a little stocky hog, this one. And this is the number, 25. This is the number 25, which is about the same size. There's the handles. It's about the same size as the peanut. But this is a real little warthog, a real little hog, thick stock. And the handle is probably, because it's a bit wider, do you see the difference? It's a really smashing, it's only a 3-finger knife, but by gosh, you could get some work done with this. So that's my comparisons. I suppose I may as well show you. That's the wee toothpick I have from Case. I love the blue on this. Absolutely beautiful. I have a 25.30 little. Oh yeah, the 25 really is a lovely little. Again, for days that I know I'm not going to do too much, it's a great pocket dropper, as is this. But this actually you could take out into a day's work with. It's just such a lovely blade stock on it. It's just beautiful. Very hard to get the 25s and 26s, I think, is the other one. It's the upside down version of this, if that makes any sense. I did a 30-day challenge with a Case peanut, and it was fantastic. I have done a challenge with a peanut. It was years ago, and I carried it, I think, for a week, and just used. It was with slick slicers. I think we'd done. What did we do it with? Was it a peanut or a toothpick? Might have been eating the toothpick. I know slick slicers done it, and I copied them. And for what I do, yeah. I'm looking at G number 14 or 15. The number 14 again is a little bit smaller than the 47s and or the 94 and the 79ers. I can't remember. But the 14 is another small pattern. But there's a 06, which is a really small knife. There's a toothpick we've done it with. Yes, I remember that. It's a lovely knife. The 15 is a bit better. If you want a knife that's going to be a proper EDC knife, I would say go for the 15. But if it's just something to add to a collection of other knives, the 14s, every bit is beautiful. It's just a little bit smaller than this. I don't have one at the minute. But the 15, that's a TC Barlow. But I have a couple of 15 patterns. I have another one here, which was a modded one. This used to be the cap lifter, but the cap lifter was taken off it. You got the easy open notch. That's a 15. I think that's much better for everyday use. So if there's any of my knives you want to see, just let me know. If there's any questions you want to ask, I must prefer the 15. Yeah, it is. It's just big enough that I can get 4 fingers on a 15. Just, do you know what I mean? And just is enough. If I can only get 3 on, most knives, if I can get 3 fingers on, they're every bit as useful. But just as ease of comfort and all, definitely the 15's a much better one. Wizard of Todd, you're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. There he goes. I preferred the Butterbean Baby Canoe. I'll agree with you, and I bought that because of you as well. I have the little white Rough Rider. Well, it's not the Butterbean, but it's the same thing. It's just a mini canoe that Case calls a Butterbean. An absolutely super little knife to throw in the pocket. Absolutely super. You have two blades. Again, I know it's that size, but it can do most of the work I'll have to do. Although, I'll tell you, I was doing a bit of hard use this week on my with my Cherbakov. It got a real bit of hard use. The wife's pencil broke. Well, the dog, the new puppy chewed the pencil. So I had to cut it in half and redo it. And oh my goodness, the cutting edge on this. And whatever is on this blade, I don't know how to do it. Like, it's not a bead blast. It's like a smoky tumble. There's individual wee spots. It goes different colors through the blade, but it feels like silk. I'm just sharpening the knife. You know, you can feel geometry on any knife you have, right? You can feel how good it is at cutting. Oh, what a difference when you use something like this. That gets me excited. Sharpening a pencil and I got excited. How scary is that? How scary is that? Right, have you all said hello? We'll get some questions out there and ask me. Between thinking about questions for this and thinking about questions for the podcast, my brain goes dead sometimes. And it's just even getting a conversation out of me is a nightmare unless you pin me down on a subject. Have you got a subject you would like to talk about? We recorded another podcast with just us, just the boys on, and we're going to do that in between our guests. It was during the week there, and we were talking about sack knives most of the night. And we were talking about modern sack knives, where's the best place to get them in the UK, all that sort of thing. How to get spare parts if you're a modder. We have that within one of the boys in the podcast who can supply them for a small fee. But it was a really interesting conversation. And listen, the other two boys were more sack boys. They're the ones that got me into this. One lives in the same town as me. One lives in England. And we must have talked for about an hour and a half on sacks. Now, it'll be cut down a bit because it's a bit long for a podcast. But I really enjoyed the conversation and listening to how they take them apart. And one of them, once I get back up home in the winter, he's going to come round to my house and we're going to do little videos on how to take the scales off, how to strip a sack knife down. For anybody who's interested, it's always nice. For me, I'm too scared to do it. But we're going to do wee videos, little 5-10 minute videos that I'll put up on the channel. I'll take the video of Justin taking them apart or showing me how to take them apart. Because if I can do it, anybody will be able to do it. I'm not great with my hands. So I think that'll be an interesting lot of videos over the winter taken. And he's going to, show me how to drill through pins and things like that. So is that sort of thing that would interest you out there? I know it will me because it'll be done because, it's interesting for me. But anybody else out there interested? Now you've gone awful quiet, boys. Come on now. Nobody's interested in sack knives. My goodness, I'm shocked. Have I done something wrong? Have he's all gone away? What is there? Is there? I haven't a clue. Don't know what's going on at all. What else can I talk about? What else can I talk about? I suppose collecting. It's funny, my channel now has got so many, what people are going to be calling high-end knives, and I make no apologies for it. I've worked hard to get them, and I'm happy I've got them, and I'm enjoying the trading back and forth with them. But I sort of have neglected my budget end knives and mid-price end knives. Mid-price probably more than most, because there's nothing exciting out there. I don't know whether you find it. If you don't like Civivis or there's all these Sen cuts and things like that, they're not doing anything for me at the minute because they just keep making very similar things for me. in my eyes, when I look at them, they all look so similar. The next one isn't usually that much different than the other. So I'm not so worried, but I want to get back to my budget. You know, somebody asked me today, show me your Ganzos. Do you know how many Ganzos I've got left? One. One. Have I just got one? I've maybe got two. Two Ganzos left out of the numerous Ganzos I've had in my time. It's still one of my favourite Ganzos, I'll have to say. This, if you haven't got it, is one of the best Ganzos. This is G729. They do a modern one with an oval hole in it that you can get on AliExpress. And Heine Haynes is selling some Ganzos. But by gosh, I still love this knife. I have had this for, it must be near 5 years. Beautiful knife. Much more comfortable than a PM2, honestly. And the axis lock on this, or G-lock as they called it, is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. And this is on just the plastic washers. Super knife. So I've got that one, and I've got another one that was modified for me. Look at that wee one. I've two of these people have modded for me for the channel. This was the boy in Dublin done this for me, and I just love what he done to it. And this is a copy, not a copy because the Rat 1 doesn't have an axis lock, but it's just a copy of a Rat 1 clone, whatever you want to call it. I love it, absolutely love it. And to have all the shamrocks on both blades just gives it that real flair. And I have to say, he done all the hardware as well. And this has lasted longer than any other that I've had with, you know, bronzed hardware or whatever it is, heat anodized. Does any of you out there still collect Ganzos? I haven't seen anybody at all. I don't know what I've done. Have I touched something? Don't think so. Give me a wee hello if you're still there. Can't get, there's no anybody there. What have I done? Or what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to touch. I'm scared to touch. Can somebody say hello? I can't get anything in the chat here. There's nothing in the chat coming up. Not the chat. I hit this wee chat button. Top chat. Top chat. Live chat. Oh, I must have done something. Sorry. Hello, American Blade. How you doing? I must have hit that button by mistake. Yes. Sorry, boys. Thank you very much. I must have done that. Really sorry. Yes. Any questions? Open to questions. You're on fine here, Paddy. I have some. Yeah. I knew you would, Gizmo. They're just a cracking knife anyway. They don't change. Time hasn't ruined them. But yeah, I'm going to maybe get some of the newer Ganzos if I'll order them from AliExpress and just top that up again. I had a chat with the guys. I had a question with the guys in the chat. I've answered it for you. Thank you very much. Well, again, I take it I didn't see any of the comments. I don't know what happened there. But yes, I hope there's people going to be interested in the SAC podcast when it comes out. Probably later this week. Sir, can I see some cool Swiss knife? You certainly can. I am going to just lift my little box of Swiss Army knives just to show you how addictions can take you. I have had these all in this box in the last sort of 3 months. 2 months even. It's not even 3 months. So, and I'm going to get you out a really cool one that I think anybody who likes knives should really have a go at getting one. Now, there's obviously with Victorinox, there's all sorts of different blades in them. This 111mm one is an absolute killer. 753, yes, hello, I got two of your Ganzos, mate. Give one for my son, but I didn't trust him with it. I like your videos on knife cleaning and sharpening. Gizmo, there's definitely going to be a sharpening video. I'm going to sharpen one of my Jack Wolf knives on my work sharp and try and lower the edge profile on it just to see what it's like. I want to just, I don't want people to be frightened because it's M390. Maybe some people haven't had them before. So I'll be doing that hopefully this week. But there's plenty of sharpening videos coming because I got sent a whole lot of stuff from Grip-O-Matic in Russia to add on to that work sharp. So I'll be doing that as I do it. Favorite sec? Yes, the Cadet is beautiful. I only just got the Cadet. Do you use a whetstone to sharpen your blades? Yes, I use anything to sharpen. I spent a lot of there was a few years in the beginning when I got really into sharpening because I didn't know how to do it. And I spent an awful long time watching Jeff Jewell on YouTube, a sharpener just par excellence, very calm. He talks away. He'll answer any questions you type to him. Really nice bloke. Robert, how you doing? So yeah, I learned how to sharpen on whetstones, dry stones, anything at all. I had a go at sharpening on. I sharpened on stones on video camera. If you go right back in my videos, I got stones from the river and used it. M390. Yeah, it's fine with diamond plates. Yeah, it's just I want to do it because there's an awful lot of people who are starting out and they hear the M390 and they talk about it and they think it's harder to sharpen, but in reality, it's not. It just may take a wee bit longer, and it is only a wee bit. It's nothing. If you've got a diamond stone, it doesn't take that much longer. Ruined a few people doing Victorinox sharpening pen. I love the Victorinox sharpening pen. That's what I will use. You know, if I'm going out for a whole day and I might think I might blunt a blade, which I very rarely do, but that's what I'll take with me because it's so handy. But honestly, I spent an awful lot of hours upon hours watching sharpening videos with Jeff, and I went back and forth with him at night, and halfway through sharpening, I would say, Jeff, I'm not getting it, and he would explain to me what I was doing wrong, and I'd fix it. But he invested an awful lot of time in me, which I'll never be able to repay. But go and watch him, Jeff Jewell, absolute gent of a man. But yes, this knife, let's get back to this. This 111, if you've never had one of these, now this is the locking blade. You have this locking bit here. You just pull this down and it unlocks it. But it's a locking blade, big blade. Plenty of work done with that there. Absolutely. This is the, not an Outrider. Maybe it is an Outrider. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But you have that, and then you have this super pair of scissors. Great big pair of scissors on it. Really super scissors. You have, oh, sorry, I've done that. You've also got an inline Phillips screwdriver. This completely clicks right here. Oh, there you go. Super thing to have on any knife. And the scissors close down. Then you've got your opening tools. And you also have one of the best saws out there. Look at the size of that. What size is that saw? He says to himself. That saw is 3.5-inch cutting. That's a good size saw. If you just want to get through a wee branch, you know, most of the jobs you're going to do in your trees in your back garden, it's just a small branch that you're trimming off. Connect. Oh, here, let me just, I had to jump in there because that's the one I just got, the Cadet A-Locks. Absolutely super thin, fantastic little knife. The A-Locks are getting really hard to get. Well, unless you're buying new. I'm trying now not to buy, well, I'm not buying any more new ones. I bought quite a few in that collection. But I use my mate Dan over here at Blade Bridge UK, or Blade Bridge Limited on Instagram. I'm not a sharpener. I can only cut a package to my knives only. Yeah, stropping is one of the best things you can do with your knives. And I have always been, Jeff taught me from the start, strop, just strop. When you come in from work, like I always say, I have strops everywhere around me here. Big strops, small strops. I strop my knife every time I put it back in. Even if I haven't used it, I usually give it a couple of swipes because it doesn't do it any harm whatsoever. It's funny, I talk about it, but where is my knife? Here it is here. This is my Hinderer Slippy. And to be honest with you, I'm always testing knives, so I never carry two big knives normally. But this has a mirror edge on it, and it is just solely by stropping. I had a shiny edge on it, but just by stropping this mirror edge, that's all it is. And it is a proper mirror edge. It's just stunning. Stropping. And this is in 20 CV. So it doesn't matter what the blade steel. the stop works, and it'll save you an awful lot of sharpening time. Look, you know, I've such a collection now that I just don't blunt the knife that often. I have to blunt them to do a sharpening video. Do you own any Wenger sacks? Yes, I do own Wenger, and it's something I'm collecting avidly at the minute. What have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3. I think I've got. Yeah, I think I have 3 Wengers. I have a little compact Wenger. In fact, I think they're both little compacts. Or just yes. I have the let me just get these up and see. Can you show some nice butterfly knife? I don't have. Do you mean Benchmade, or do you mean like the butterfly flicky knives? They're illegal over here, and I wouldn't even know where to get one, to be honest. I have these two. They're like wee compacts, but the only difference between the two of them is one has the corkscrew and one has the screwdriver in the back of them. That's the only difference, but it's nice to have them, you know, the set of both of them. I'm sure they're the same name, just one's A and B or whatever, but I think they're a different age between them. I still haven't got to the age. Smurf poo. Yes, I use Smurf poo. I used it for years on my channel. I don't have any of it left, and I haven't seen it on Amazon recently, but I just use green compound. That's all I use. And to be honest with you, another thing I seem to be doing a lot of now is if I've been using a knife quite hard, I'll put the ceramic stone down and just give a few swipes in the ceramic to reconnect, you know what happens with a burr. Do we all know the burr? Yeah. When you use a knife, it all goes out of shape. Your knife, the very apex of the knife gets out of shape. So when I put it on the ceramic stone, which is, did an awful lot of pulling and grabbing. I bought this years ago. It cost about £100. It's a Spyderco ceramic stone. It takes metal off, but not a lot. And it's great for just at the end of the day, if you've used your knife a lot, or one that you haven't sharpened for a while, just a couple of swipes up and down with it, and it brings that apex back to a really sharp point. And you really don't even need to stop after it because it's so fine. I keep a small screwdriver and some tinder in my Huntsman corkscrew. Yes, I have a lot of the wee screwdrivers that I'll put in. If I've got a corkscrew in one, I always make sure I have the wee screwdriver, especially for glasses. The corkscrew also great for tying super bootlaces when they get knotted up. Never done that. I've heard about it. I'm not a corkscrew lover. I'm a lot of actually. My mate has made me 2. He made me this one with a corkscrew, and I keep this. This is one just for getting into the woods. It's got the big blade. It's a bit like a walker but different. the saw and a pen blade. That's all it's got on it. He made me that. But he also made me this little beauty. This is in micarta, and it's like a caramel micarta scale. Beautiful. You have the screwdriver here, but here's the little secret to this one. It also has an inline Phillips screwdriver. So if I'm just doing like kids' toys and that, which are usually not tight, this is the one I'll use. If it gets tight and I need a bit of torques. Hello, Knife Delights. How are you? Sir, I must say thank you so much. I received these on Friday. Really appreciate you doing it. Mine are on the way to you, and I'm just going to put my hands up and be honest. Until Friday, I'd forgotten that I hadn't sent them. So they will go out this week, I promise you. And I'm going to send you a few extra of my little cards, and you can give them to the boys over there in the States, because it's as easy sending you a stack, and if you've got contact with them, you can certainly put them in your giveaways or whatever. But yes, the other one I have is on the back. If I need to get a bit of torques, because I don't like putting torques on an inline screwdriver. The scales are not that sturdy on these. So that's one of my favourite Victorinox. Now, Knife Delights, what are you carrying today in your packet? Kuto from France. Hello, mate. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Rhino, hello. How are you, sir? You are more than welcome here. more than welcome. We were just talking about ALOX there. We have a podcast coming up where we had an hour and a half long conversation about Swiss Army knives. The other two boys are more, they're modders and everything. So it was a really enjoyable conversation for me. It'll probably be out later this week. Nice that Buck Mini Spitfire and the Evo Grip. I've not tried the Evo Grips yet because do you know why, Tom? If I get into another habit of wanting Evos, I'll end up with another box of 30 or 40 Evos because I just get addicted. And I'm just going to stick with the Victorinox. I don't know if anybody else is like that. I mean, if I get something new that I've got, I actually then want 3 or 4 or 5, 6 of them just so that I've got a good idea of what they're like overall. Just been shopping my Teeny Explorer and Handyman, two lovely ones. I don't think I've got the Explorer, but I don't think I have a Handyman, but I might have. I'm not sure. Have I got a Handyman? I don't think so, but I'll get one eventually, that's for sure. And they're just nice to talk about, Sacks, I have to say. Smurf poo is or micro poo. Smurf poo's brilliant. I loved, that's all I used for years was Smurf poo. I loved it. And I bought a tin of the paste version of it, which was brilliant. And I lost a tin. It was a massive tin of Smurf poo. And I can't, it's not lost. It'll be somewhere in my workroom. I say a knife bug is part of that. Mine is dug. Always wanted an Explorer. Yeah. The Explorer, this is where I guess a lot. Is the Explorer, do you know, I can't remember which one the Explorer is. How bad is that? Oh, here we go. Right. I'll have a look now. Number 4. I was going to give you the wrong one. Here's an Explorer here. This has the magnifying glass and it has the inline Phillips screwdriver. Then you also have the opening two, which everybody knows what they are. It has a fantastic, again, pair of scissors, really super scissors. You have the main blade, normal, and then you also have the little pen blade. And you have a corkscrew, and I have the glasses thing in it. And on the back you have the boot puller, as I would use, and the reamer. So am I right in saying that is the Explorer, isn't it? I have a wee list here so that I can look at. Does the military Victorinox come in a straight edge? Now, hopefully some in the comments will answer that. I'm not good enough to know that, to be honest. I really genuinely don't know the answer. Don't know the answer. Oh, that was the other thing. This wee Wenger, you can see where the white has been worn off it. It has this lovely little ship on the back of it. So I don't know whether the ship had got them to sail on board. Always carry the Huntsman, and now I need the my glasses more than the saw. Yeah, you see, I got my mate. I'm going to go back to this again. Well, my mate made this. I got this with the magnifying glass in it because you see, if I'm out and I don't have my glasses, I cannot read small print at all. So that inevitably ends up with me quite a lot. Always kind of. I'm sure America has non-threaded. I'm sure the American has non-threaded blades. If you don't get an answer to that, please get back to me. I thought the Explorer, I bought an Explorer from a local hardware store. They can't sell them now as they needed a license. Isn't that ridiculous? Our country is just the biggest nanny state anywhere in the world. Yes, I've not had any descend. I have to say I haven't broken one or needed any work doing on it. What is your oldest knife, Paddy? Oh, I can take you back a wee bit. I can take you back to the beginning, probably, of the 18th century. Now, did you expect that as an answer? Let me just show it to you. I have it somewhere here. Sorry. Let me just get this up here. Here it is. This is one of my oldest knives. Now, look at the stag on this. It's a real old knife. Look at that. Look at that. That was a little, that was for sharpening your feather when you were writing, when you wrote with feathers. That was the 18th century. This one is, I'm not sure what date it was, to be honest, perfectly, but an absolutely crackaway knife that is held up absolutely beautifully. It really has. And the blades, although it's carbon, the blades have really, somebody had done it before me, thank goodness, had shined them up, and I've just kept them good because it's absolutely beautiful. I think my first sack was an economy recruit. I've never seen an economy one yet. I think, did they just not have the Victorinox symbol on them? I'm not sure. My older penknife is in ivory, 1908. I have a few old knives here. I have a few old ones here. Let me just get you some of my older ones. Some lovely old ones. This was an old this was a Chataragus made knife. That must be from the late 1800s, because this was when before Case was made. He made these knives with another boy whose name I can't think of at the minute. So this is a beautiful old knife. This is really nice. Again, carbon steel blades, but they're in good condition, and I bought them in good condition, and I just keep them that way because I just love them. Old knives, let me see. There's another. This is a real, oh, look how thin that is. Again, carbon steel blades. This is just a little jackknife or penknife. Beautiful. But this is in stainless, so it's not that old. And that's what you have to be careful of. People put ages. Remember, always remember when stainless came out. Now, here's a lovely old one. I love, this is the this is a George Wolstenholme. Did they call these the penny knife or the dime knife or something like that? There, an old. They were made over in America at that time, or maybe they were made here too. But no, this one was made here in Sheffield. Sorry, silly boy. There you go. My hobby is a good enough reason to carry a knife. I've successfully argued it with police. To be honest with you, I tend to stick to the law most of the times, but there have been times that I've wanted to take a bigger knife out for some job I've been doing. And look, I'm 60. I'm not going to get stopped and searched very often. Never now, to be honest with you. If you're a young teenager, this country would be very difficult to step back and take something that's illegal, because the penalties for it is just not worth it. So I don't advise it to anybody to do. And look, there's enough good knives out there that'll do they'll do cutting as well as any other knife that you have. Do you know what I mean? This will cut and do anything I want. My Jack Wolf knives, there's a work knife there. If you've got anything you want to do that knife can't do, you really need a fixed blade, because this will do anything. I carry a small carving project, Paddy. Yeah, I should carry a wee small. Yes, my carving saga is going on. I just haven't had the time to do it. I'm not having the time. That's a lie, because I got plenty of time. I just don't. Sir, how many knives do you have? Oh, a lot less than I used to have. I probably have about, I would say it's under 200 now, but there was a stage where I had at least double that. And the last year, I sold a lot off. I gave a lot away, and to get some money to buy higher end knives, because you can only buy so many budget knives, and to have to keep replacing them with a new modern one it becomes quite expensive when you're on the channel. So yes, over the 5 years that I've been doing it, I built up a lovely collection of higher end knives through saving, through selling, through swapping, all sorts. And my parents passed away and left me a bit of money. And the year that I got that bit of money, I bought a shed load of GECs, everything I could get my hand on. Now I've cut that down by half. and bought other things. So yeah, I mean, YouTube channels can get out of control if you let them. 1920s. Yeah, I thought it was 20s or 30s, somewhere around there. Sorry, I missed that last one there. Don C. Hello, Don. How are you? Nice to see you here, mate. The highly matters. Do you own any cheaper knives like Rough Rider marbles? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got Rough Riders, the Queen ones. I could just go in here and pick up handfuls out of this drawer of Rough Riders. I still have a stack of them, and I love them, and I use them as well. Marbles, yes. One of my nicest knives that I liked for a long time is this marbles knife. This is just a stunning copperhead. Not what they call it. Look at that. Is that not just stunning? Beautiful knife. Two beautiful blades on it. Although now this one has the marbles insignia on here. But I just think that is an absolutely stunning knife. The copperhead is a lovely pattern. The snap on this is beautiful. And I know Rough Rider make them. But yeah, I have all sorts of shapes and sizes. There's Slick's in the chat. Slick sent me this at one time. The Granddaddy Barlow. And it's just a beast of a knife. A beast of a knife. So yes, I do like my cheaper knives. Cheerio, Ohio, thank you so much for popping in. Have a great rest of your day, mate. And the modern ones with the copper. This is just a trapper. Beautiful blades with the stonewashed blades, or the dark stonewashed. Beautiful. Marbles for the price. Yeah, Roland. Rough Rider marbles. Rough Rider just really are the makers at the moment. I don't know anybody else that does knives in the price range that they do that are any better. I just don't. I've also got a lot of wee Rough Riders as well. I like their wee knives for, throwing in the pocket. I've lots of little wee ones. The white bone there, the wee white bone Rough Rider is lovely too. Here's another. This is a knife that I got fascinated. I carried this about for ages. Lovely little knife. And I know you can get the larger one. I just like that one. One of the best buys that I think you can get from Rough Rider is one of these lockback in brass. Beautiful clip on that. £7 or something it cost. £7. It is fantastic. So thin behind the edge. Just a great little knife. See, if you want to poke in here and you're not caring what you're having, that's just an absolute gem of a knife. If you haven't got one, just for £7, just go and get one. It's probably cheaper in America. And the lockback works perfectly, absolutely solid. And then I have a wee peanut, a wee Rough Rider peanut in the black. I think it's just black bone. I think it's just black bone. But yes, I've got a drawer full of stuff. Budget nice. There's another Ganzo I have that I didn't know. Nobody ever shows this one off, do they? The Ganzo in aluminium. And it was the first one they done in the 4116 steel. And it's got a hollow grind, beautiful. I put this in my kitchen drawer, and me and the wife used it about the kitchen when they first came out, because it's not the best flowing mechanism in all the Rough Rider range. It's not that easy to open as most of them are. But I put it in the drawer. We used it, and it was just washed in the sink and thrown in the drawer. Do you know, it never rusted once. It was about a year. We'd stopped using it, and about a year later I found it at the back of the drawer. There was no rust on it, none at all. You can see there's no marks at all in this. So that stainless is obviously really good. It should have had something. Oh, there might be one wee spot. No, it's not. It's just a bit of dirt. But this is this is the Ganzo F6802. Fantastic little knife. It really is aluminium. And look at that. Nice little deep carry pocket clip on it. It's got that sort of grip that you have on the that's blowing up a wee bit. I have to say, I'm just feeling that and it's spongy, but it's the same as I nearly lost the whole drawer of knives there. It's the same grip as you would have on the Blur, you know, that skateboard tape. So I find it really hard to read. Right, I'm going to stop. Just ask me some questions and I'll answer them for 5 minutes. Any questions at all, throw them up and let's see if we can get away happy on a Sunday. Anybody got any questions? Well, I'll just remind you then this week we're doing an iPod, isn't that what it's called? Hello, Mr. Fermanaman. How are you? I'm just about to finish, but it's so lovely to see you. Really nice to see you. I'll send you a text because I still have I still follow you on Instagram. Yes, our blue denim works great. Yeah. Sorry, I missed it. Where is the podcast uploaded? It's on YouTube. I just put it up on the channel. There's one we done last week with Ben Belkin from Jack Wolf Knives. Just go back. It's about 2 videos back. You'll see it. Paddy and Pals podcast. We're going to get it put onto the podcast system, but I don't know how to do that yet. So we're going to get that sorted out and we'll have it on the podcast system. But it really is an informal, we called it a podcast. It's an informal chat. It's not a specs thing. It's not, I'll actually maybe get Mr. Fermanaman on one time if he's interested, because he's in charge of Olight UK. If he wanted to come on and talk about Olight UK, we could certainly do that. Looking well for me age, sir, but thank you very much indeed. Hi, Paddy, you're at your caravan. I spend from Easter right through till the end of October down at the caravan. We go up maybe once a week, once a fortnight, just to do a bit of washing. Did you see those lambs we posted yesterday? Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Sorry, no problem. No longer with Olight. Oh, that's a shame. Well, I'll give you a wee text and see how you're doing. Paddy, one of the best knife interviews discussed I've seen in you was your crew and Ben. Well, Byron, thank you very much indeed. We enjoyed it and Ben enjoyed it. It was really, and I say I've got Ashley Harrison. We're doing one this week, but we pre-record them so that we can cut them down and cut out any of the nonsense that we talked, which is quite a lot for me. The other 2 boys are good. I just talk rubbish, as I do most of the time. I'm getting away with it, so I just keep going. But look, thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. Really, really enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, I keep saying I'm going to get better at doing this and reading the thing. I find it impossible to keep up with that. But I'm just going to keep doing it. You seem to be coming back. We're getting about 30 odd each week. That's enough for me. Do you know what I mean? 10's enough for me. I enjoy the chat as long as you do. Thank you so much for partaking. And if you've got any questions you would like to ask Ashley Harrison, who's a custom knife maker. If you're in America, he's a custom knife maker. He makes traditional knives. Like this beauty is made for me. Beautiful custom knife. And this one that you've all seen that he made for me. Beautiful. So he's coming on. If you've got any questions, please put them down below and I'll bring them up during the podcast. Definitely. Hey, Paddy, sorry I was late. I'll watch a replay. Not a problem, mate. Thank you very much anyway for coming along, William. Byron, have a great Sunday. Thanks, everybody. And yes, thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you coming along and giving me a wee bit of your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you get something out of it. And see you next week. Take care, everybody. All the best. Thanks very much indeed. Now, hit the wee button, Paddy. Hit the like button on your way out. Thanks, Gizmo. Nice to have you along, pal. I'm looking for the X. I can't find the X. Cheers, John. Cheerio, everybody. Thanks very much.